Can Cardiff capitalise on last week's feel-good factor?
Fraser Campbell runs away in celebration. He's been a thorn in the side of Manchester City all afternoon.
I'd go as far as to say nearly every home game last season sees that atmosphere. It heightens slightly, I think, because we're in the Premier League now.
Malky Mackay's Cardiff take on Roberto Martinez's Everton in our commentary game from 3 o'clock. It's a glorious afternoon here in South Wales. The sun is shining and blue sky up above, and there is that sense of expectation that they can build on that memorable victory against Manchester City last weekend. Not surprising to hear that Cardiff have named the same 11 that beat Manchester City. Of course, both sides had made wholesale changes for their respective League Cup ties in midweek. Everton are also unchanged, and that means that both Leighton Baines and Marouane Fellaini start too. Cardiff unbeaten at home in 8. Everton yet to win away since January. Ian mentioned Steve Claridge alongside him. After the game last week, Craig Bellamy made a big thing about the relationship between the players and the fans at that stadium. Their home form last year was fantastic as well. So if they are going to stay up, it's going to be key what they do where you are, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is important for most teams that come up. I think I remember when Sunderland first came up, I think they got 39 out of something like 46 points, I think it was, around that to stay up. It's an incredible total. There's quite a few clubs who've done that and tried to replicate that, and they have to. Don't forget, this was a club, I think they won first 10, didn't they, at home last year. So they have got a good record. I think that also coincides. Chappers, did you come down here previous years when their pitch was in a terrible state? I think they used to do it with the rugby and that, and their pitch was awful. And then all of a sudden last year they got a grip on it, and the surface has been fantastic since, and I think that's suited them. I think that's really brought a change to the results and the change in the way that they've played, because they struggled against sides before that, so that's helped as well. And you're right, if they do keep that form up, and they've got a good home record, then you get the feeling they'll pick up enough points to be okay.
Will it be a case of after the Lord Mayor show for Cardiff City, or will this cauldron here in South Wales once again be a catalyst for 3 more points after that memorable victory against Manchester City last weekend? The team news is that both sides are unchanged from their respective last league outings. David Marshall is in goal for Cardiff City, a back four of Connolly, Turner, Colker and Taylor, a midfield of Medell and Gunnarsson, and Bellamy and Whittingham out wide, and Kim Buk-Young in behind Fraser Campbell with his 2 goals against Manchester City. As for Everton, Howard is in goal, Coleman, Jagielka, Distan and Baines, Osman, Fellaini, Barkley, Morales and Pinar providing the support for the lone striker Nikita Jelavic. Let's get the thoughts of Steve Claridge.
Well, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this, I've got to say. I'm sure there's optimism. I hope it's tinged with realism as well from a Cardiff perspective. Okay, it was a great result last week, but there will be some sticky patches along the way. There's no doubt about that. I don't envisage that Everton will be quite as loose, should we say, at the back as Man City were. I'm just interested to see, particularly early on, how in the season, how Cardiff do respond and do have to cope with, maybe not having as much as the ball as they used to. They were excellent last week without the ball. Their organisation, their work rate was fantastic, and that's something that they will have to continue throughout the season.
They only had 30% of the possession against Manchester City.
Yep.
Will there, though, today be the extra onus on them for a team like Everton?
Extra onus for what? To have more possession?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I mean, if it's what you do with it. I mean, we are now consumed by possession. Seems to be everything now. It's like almost 5 passes a goal instead of actually doing something with it. So they proved last week that if you're organised, you work hard, and you allow people the ball in the areas where they can't hurt you, then it doesn't matter how much possession you have, you can win the game.
We'll wait to see who has the possession, but there's no doubting who has the passion. And that is the supporters here in this Cardiff City Stadium. The atmosphere once again is excellent, and I'm sure that has been a contributing factor in their superb home form. Playing from right to left, Fellaini and then Baines. An early touch for the duo who of course are at the centre of so much speculation. And already Fellaini in fact coming away from that challenge and just hobbling a little bit as he feels his right leg. Roberto Martinez and Malky Mackay standing up in their dark suits in the technical area as the ball from Colker is seen back towards the goalkeeper David Marshall and away downfield. Red shirts of Cardiff. This is Kim. Nice little turn away from Osman. Bellamy is available to him. The South Korean will wait. Short diagonal ball to Bellamy. Connolly has joined the attack on this near side, the right. Back to Bellamy once again. Whittingham in field. Kim lifts it forward. Whittingham has a little glance over his left shoulder. Tried the cut back towards Bellamy and marked in the penalty area. Intercepted by Osman. Barkley gives the ball away to Campbell. Central position just outside the D. And then Everton again will regroup, and it'll be brought clear by Coleman.
There were almost too many defenders there in and around that ball. No one actually shut the ball down, and no one went with the runner there. Whittingham just gets in behind, comes from left to right. Nobody tracks that run, nobody communicates, and he finds himself all alone in the penalty area and makes the wrong decision quite simply. Chooses to pull the ball back instead of putting it across goal, and it's intercepted. But loose play there from Everton.
Free kick to Everton. They won't find it easy, teams coming here, will they?
No. I mean, I like the shape of Cardiff as well. They've gone for that one up front in Fraser Campbell, one just off, so they make sure they don't get done 3 for 2 in midfield, and then they're going to be nice and tight and hard working and not allow anyone to play in between the lines, certainly when they've got the ball. So, as you say, it'll be tough opposition for anybody.
Another free kick for Everton as they advance downfield. About 30 yards out from goal, 10 yards in from the touchline on this near side, the left, as they play from right to left in these bright conditions. Saw the quotes that Fraser Campbell did on Football Focus, saying that we mustn't be bullied by Everton. Well, Distan and Fellaini and joined Jelavic for this set piece. It'll be curled in by Baines, left-footed coming in now. Fellaini was there, Distan with a looping header, and it's actually headed over his own goal by Taylor, who was covering, but the referee Anthony Taylor has given a free kick to Cardiff City.
A dangerous moment there, I've got to say. I mean, they didn't deal with the first phase, second phase flicked up, and it's, as you say, it's Taylor who clears it, and fortunately for Cardiff, on the line virtually, away from the closing Pienaar. Pienaar just gives him a nudge in the back. They're trying to get to the ball first, but you can see what a threat they are, so you don't want to be giving too many free kicks away in the area that they just did there, Cardiff.
Campbell back to Bellamy. Bellamy all spread play. Long searching diagonal ball. Taylor pushed up from left back. Whittingham back out to Taylor, almost level with the penalty area, and this is Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson's ball looking for Bellamy has gone astray. Pienaar to Everton. Now this is where Everton could maybe break on the pace. They sit on the break with the pace of Barkley and Morales in particular. But they covered, did Cardiff City, and they cut out the threat of Ross Barkley, who of course next week will join up with the England squad. Kim will win it back for the red shirts of Cardiff. Here is Connolly, formerly of Queen's Park Rangers, to Bellamy on this right touchline. Back to Connolly, all very congested along the ground. Everton snapping into the challenges. Ball played over the top. Bellamy then goes in towards Leighton Baines. Seemed to just raise his arm, and then he points his finger at the direction of Leighton Baines. Craig Bellamy. Fellaini now comes forward and finds Pienaar. Pienaar will roll it back towards Distan. They can't get out of their own half, Everton.
No, I mean, that's what, we saw this last week with the closing down and the organisation, and what they've done is they just latch on, they go man for man, and all they'll do is they'll allow Everton, look at the back four, you've got Pienaar, Fellaini into the back four, and all of a sudden you look forward and there aren't the players in blue shirts that are an option, because they've got 4 this side of the 11 for Cardiff, so they're vastly outnumbered.
Whittingham stands over this free kick for Cardiff City. Instead of lifting it into the box, he plays it square, and Kim will shoot from long range, and it's wide, and that goes out for a goal kick. This is Distan on the halfway line for Everton. Kim closing him down and forcing him back. Good play by Cardiff City. Here's Pienaar cutting in now off this left touchline, running into Medell. He runs to Barkley. Barkley comes forward. Barkley shapes to shoot, takes a deflection and runs wide, and it's for a corner.
It's a good tackle in the end, actually. I mean, he's gone a little bit too far for comfort for the Cardiff defence, but in the end, I mean, it's a good tackle from Connolly. Unfortunately enough for Cardiff, the deflection only just takes it wide.
Baines then to stand over this corner kick on this near side, the left. It's an out-swinging corner from his left foot. Comes to Fellaini. Fellaini tries to turn. Fellaini is being held a little bit there. He still uses his strength to try and win the ball back, and it runs away off Fellaini and out for a goal kick. He's complaining to the assistant referee that he was being impeded.
Yes, what he's saying is basically is that as he's got the ball, he's got his back to goal. Connolly is very, very tight and doesn't allow him to turn. And as he does, and there's another player who comes across and gets in front of him, and then he brings that player down. And what he does is he complains about the initial, what he considers, shall we say, ungentlemanly conduct from Connolly and holding him in the box.
Cardiff City come forward over on that far side, the left, with Taylor to Kim. The ball just got stuck on the ground. He couldn't take it with him underneath that left foot. South Korean will try again as he advances down that left-hand side. Lays the ball back. In comes the cross, blocked by Morales, and out for a Cardiff City throw.
Good play, they've kept the ball, they've had to work hard to get it back, and he said that, they've got it, and all of a sudden kept it, they haven't given it away, they've worked an opening. You know, lots of times they've looked up, tried to get the ball in the box, can't, turned out, came back, and eventually he's taken a deflection to stop that attack.
Craig Bellamy, who if he was to score today would be the first player to score for 7 different clubs in the Premier League, wanders over, and he's hardly being greeted too warmly by the Everton supporters over on that far side. Of course, the former Liverpool player, as he ambled over, he was giving a standing ovation from the Cardiff supporters. Bellamy's corner, curling in off the head of Kolka. Came off an Everton player last, is behind for another corner kick. Had some curl on it.
Did. Good corner, a bit of whip in it. And that's just about the right height for the flick. And unfortunately for Cardiff, no one coming in around the back post to stick that in.
Whittingham will come across on this near side now. Successive corner, but on this near side to right. Cardiff in their red shirts, playing from left to right. Whittingham curls this one in. Howard was struggling, but cleared in by Distan. Comes out to Kim on the volley, and it's wide for a goal kick. Howard was nearly caught out, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's tried to second guess that one, Howard. I mean, I'm surprised at that because, you know, Whittingham can whip the ball in, particularly early at the near post. He's done that, and Howard's had to make about 2 or 3 yards across very, very quickly because there's lots of pace on that corner. He's whipped it near post, and he just about scrambles it away. Fortunately for Everton, it drops to an Everton defender, and it's cleared.
Here it's a corner kick to Everton, which they've taken quickly, to Osman, right corner of the penalty area, back out towards Morales. In comes the cross, headed away by Kolka. It'll be collected by Baines, just forward of the centre circle, central position, plays it out towards Osman. Osman to Morales, down the right side of the penalty area. First time cross whipped in by Morales, headed away well by Cardiff City. The Cardiff City defence stands firm, kept in play by Morales, turns, in comes another cross, and another header away, this time by Taylor. The left back was tucked in, and Everton win possession back with Baines. The red shirts, though, are back in numbers, keeping their discipline. And here is Coleman on the halfway line for Everton, and he's faced by the South Korean Kim, and he's forced to return. And then they have to go back and start again, Everton. It's going to be a free kick to Cardiff City. It was Coleman
and Kim.
On Kim.
Yeah, Kim's just got in front of Coleman, and Coleman's just gone to make a tackle back. Kim's got in front of him, and it's a tackle, what you consider just tackle from behind. They can be a little bit naughty because obviously as you catch the player, you're catching him on the back of his leg, which is obviously your calf or your Achilles, which can be painful. But he's up, and we're ready to go again.
Gunnarsson coming forward, overruns the ball, flags up. Campbell shoots over the crossbar anyway. Flag was raised. Free kick to Everton, and it's midway through the Cardiff City half. It's left of centre, in field. Pinar or Baines. Baines to take it, curling in, left-footed, headed over by Morales, and a long way over. Steve Claridge.
Yeah, I mean that's another ball in where they struggled to deal with that, Cardiff. That is an area that Everton has no doubt will look to exploit. It's a good game, no doubt about that. Two sides who are playing well, good match-up, working hard. When they get the ball, they're trying to move the ball around, but also being met with fierce defence as well. So as it stands, I mean, we're not getting a plethora of chances, but what we have got is two sides working hard with good shape and balance, and a decent spectacle so far.
And this is Barkley winning the ball back, playing it in now towards Coleman. Coleman's first time cross over the head of Jelavic. A leaping Jelavic in the penalty area, retrieved by Baines, left side of the penalty area. Support comes in from Pinar, cut out by Gunnarsson. Low ball from the South African, comes back towards Pinar, who waits. Baines is ahead of him. Pinar tries to go one way and then the other. Two red shirts are with him for Stephen Pinar. Here is the bushy, familiar-haired figure of Marouane Fellaini, and then Leighton Baines can't keep the ball in play from Fellaini's pass. It runs out for a throw to Cardiff City. Osman out towards Leighton Baines. Stationary now, he runs in field, Leighton Baines. And this is Barkley. Barkley plays it out to Jelavic. Jelavic forced to fraction out wide on the left-hand side. Jelavic now will plant over the cross, and Morales coming in 7 yards out, downward header, well off target.
That's the best chance, and no wonder he's got his head in his hands. I mean, that is the first absolute clear chance that we've had today. Wonderful play. The one thing you can say about Everton is that they've worked some great situations but haven't delivered today, as you would imagine. That was one where they did a great ball in from Jelavic, and Morales has come there, like I say, no more than 6-7 yards out, edge of the 6-yard box, clear header, enough pace on the ball just to redirect it. He doesn't, for some reason, he's just to the right of centre. He's trying to flick the ball on into the goal rather than heading it back from where it came from. So he's got his angles completely wrong, and it's a poor finish. And no wonder, as I said, he's holding his head in his hands, because that was a real chance.
And now it's with Jagielka. Jagielka comes forward midway through the Cardiff City half. There's a man over, which is Coleman. Coleman now will come in off that right touchline to Morales, with his back to goal though, to the Cardiff City goal as they're attacking Everton. Fellaini out towards Baines. Baines looking to try and get the better of Connolly, but Connolly backpedals and stands firm, making very little room for manoeuvre as far as Leighton Baines was concerned. And now looking towards Kim on the counter-attack. Barkley's adjudged to have fouled Kim. Free kick to Cardiff City.
I think it is a foul. I mean, the referee's actually then he's completely blind where that's concerned, because he's the other side on the shirt pull, and the lines was only about 10 yards away, and it's blatantly in front of him. Clearly he takes control of the situation, which he should do, and gives the right decision, because that is a foul.
As Barkley has been booked by our referee Anthony Taylor, in the first yellow card indeed of this afternoon's game. Still 0-0. Colker up from the back, lays it out towards Fraser Campbell. Connolly will cross, low ball in from the right hand side, and Osman will clatter it away downfield. Brought under control ever so well though by Medell, and now feeds it to the feet of Whittingham over on that far side, back towards Taylor, the former Middlesbrough defender, and under not too much pressure from Morales, but he's forced to turn and go all the way back towards the Scottish international goalkeeper Marshall. Corner's taken by Baines on this near side, the left. It was low, didn't beat the first man at that near post. Everton have won it back. Baines this time has his cross blocked by Whittingham. The work ethic in this Cardiff City side is something.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Well, that was actually Whittingham across from the left, closing down Baines, who's virtually on the line there, trying to put the ball in. So that just gives you some understanding. It's all hands to the pumps. Whoever's closest to the ball, go and shut the ball down, and then we'll work around you.
Baines running at the Cardiff City players. Could be a penalty, but Anthony Taylor says no. Baines attacked Medell at pace. He beat the first challenge and went down when Medell came in, and Anthony Taylor was on the spot, and he quickly awarded a goal kick.
There wasn't a great reaction of diving, should we say, from the Cardiff players, was there?
Your verdict on that?
That's a penalty, yeah.
Little back heel from Pienaar to Barkley, very crowded. Barkley trying to turn, very congested. Barkley on the edge of the penalty area, out to Coleman on the right hand side. Coleman into the penalty area, 2 step overs from Coleman. His cross into the penalty box, headed away by Colker, and there is Kim to bring it clear for Cardiff City. Caught by Fellaini, was he? The referee says no. He had a good view, did Anthony Taylor. As Osman out towards Pienaar, right corner of the penalty area, man over, Coleman, first time cross, Jelavic with a header, kept out by Marshall. Wonderful reflex save, outstretched left hand, keeps it at 0-0. Wonderful save.
That's taken the deflection off of the defender, because he's almost flicked that on Jelavic, and I think that's hit the keeper and slightly changed direction, and that's why Marshall pulled off a wonderful save. He's going the other way, and he just gets a strong fingertip to it and keeps it out.
It's that deflection as Osman kills the ball in, flags up. Jelavic is, even at the second time, still hasn't put the ball in the back of the net, but the flag was raised. But it's that deflection that makes it a better save, because as the cross came in, he's moving just that little bit to his right, and then he has to extend the left hand back to the other side.
I mean, it was the first time when Everton have actually got the ball forward and got a few men in the box, because clearly when that ball goes in, there needs to be more men. With Fellaini so deep, there needs to be other people attacking the ball. As it is, it's just
Well, that's the voice of Steve Claridge. Half time here, Cardiff City 0, Everton 0. Everton should have had a penalty just before half-time, and Marshall, with an outstanding save, keeps it level.
Yeah, I mean, not both sides playing with the one up front. Neither really are prepared to take too many chances, and that's why, you know, we have the score we have. But also, you know, Everton have been good at times in possession, moved the ball around, got good width, good space, haven't always made the best of some good opportunities. And Cardiff's defensive work, their organisation, the way they've stopped Everton from playing has been very, very good. So, albeit we haven't had a lot of chances, we haven't had any goals, it's been an intriguing game so far.
As Cardiff City come forward, and this is with Kim, and Kim goes on a surging run into the penalty area. Kim with a cutback, nobody there. Connolly tries to reach it now from right back. Connolly keeps the move alive into the penalty area, bobbles, and Jagielka turns and clears out for a throw.
Well, Jagielka's made up for falling and being turned all over the place and letting Kim go past him like he was stood still. So they got away with that one, Everton, I must admit.
Throw taken quickly, comes out to Connolly. Connolly drives it wide. Goal kick. Much more positive start from Cardiff in the early stages of this second period, 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, what you can say about both sides have been very good in certain periods and very good in parts of the pitch. What they haven't done is quite got that balance between allowing players to break and get up with the single forward when the ball is in dangerous areas and being delivered, because yet again there's only one player in the box and that ball's actually gone in from Kim, and it goes over the top of Fraser Campbell, and that's it then. There's nobody else attacking the back post, there's no one going round to save in behind him to attack the ball, and the ball goes aimlessly away from goal. So that's the balance that these sides haven't quite got at this stage, is getting enough men into the box from dangerous situations.
Baines with the corner on the left-hand side, headed out though by Whittingham. Attack that with at the near post. Pinol let it run out and a play for a throw. Barkley into Jelevic. Jelevic takes it first time with the outside of his right foot and shoots over. As Whittingham heads the ball in field, and Fraser Campbell then barged off the ball by Fellaini. And Fellaini and Fraser Campbell, there's a little bit of afters between the pair as they tussle on the ground. Anthony Taylor quick to intervene. Free kick to Cardiff City. Steve Claridge, 0-0.
Yeah, he's just got in front of him there, Campbell, fractioning. You know what Fellaini's like, he's quite dogged. He's actually just come in behind Fraser Campbell, and they've just both gone to the ground, and Campbell's got up really irate, very angry about that, because he thinks he's past Fellaini. He's onto the back four of Everton. It's once or twice. I mean, Fellaini does that with the centre forwards. He's always the first one to engage because he's that deep line midfielder. You know, he just leaves that little bit on the opposition when they think they're clear, and clearly Campbell's reacted to that.
Well, no action has been taken by Anthony Taylor. He's now marking out the 10 yards for this set piece. Craig Bellamy's eyeing this one up. It's long range. It's about 30 yards out from goal. It's left of centre as this free kick. Whittingham now steps away from the ball as well. Takes 3-4 yards back. It's going to be Bellamy curling and caught in the midriff by Tim Howard. As Kim towards Bellamy. Bellamy goes round Howard. He's taken it too far, forced himself far too wide. He keeps the ball in play. Back towards Whittingham. Whittingham's cross. Campbell is there. Campbell can't flick it goalwards. And Baines uses his experience to let the ball settle. Have a glance over his shoulder. The Cardiff City crowd roar as Everton will come forward. And Baines will find Pienaar. And Pienaar looking towards Jelevic. Stretching clearance only as far as Barkley. Barkley looking to shoot. Way to goal is blocked. Barkley's still going. Missed kick off his left foot. And then Gunnarsson plays a short little ball towards Medell. And Medell up towards Campbell. Bellamy's still coming back though. He's ambling his way back, strolling his way back in the bright conditions. Now all of a sudden the game is opening up a little bit. This is Pienaar. On the overlap is Baines. Down by the corner flag on the left-hand side. This is Morales who shows himself. Running into the inside left channel of the penalty area and shoots. But it's a tame, really, shot that's comfortably saved, Steve Claridge.
Well, I was going to say it's the best chance of the game for Craig Bellamy, but it's not, is it? It's an opportunity that he's not taken. I mean, he's taken it far too wide of Howard there. All he's got to do is knock it past, and he's got an empty goal. He doesn't. He knocks it 10-15 yards past him, overruns it. He does well to keep the ball in. Sustained bit of pressure from Cardiff. Certainly their best period, should we say, in an attacking sense. And as you say, the game now, all of a sudden, as in a positive sense, has moved up a level.
But what can they do now with this set piece? Because Baines is eyeing it up. You've got Barkley and Jelevic also behind the ball. Cardiff City have every red shirt back in and around their penalty area. Barkley comes forward, strikes it low into the wall, and the cheers from the Cardiff City supporters will tell you that it has cannoned all the way back towards Distan, and then he's seen it back towards Howard. And the substitution has been made. Aruna Kone's come on for Jelavic, so his goal drought continues in the Premier League as the ball is played into the free penalty area. Comes out to Whittingham. Whittingham then looking towards Kim, closed down quickly by Pienaar. Kim holds off the South African, who's then caught in the face. Whittingham curls over the cross, back header away by Distan, clears the lines from Tim Howard, and the ball will bounce out of play, and it's gone behind for a corner to Cardiff City. This, of course, is where they profited against Manchester City.
It is, yes. As I said, I don't think that, they'll get that sort of freedom in there, or be able to not have a solid defence against them in this situation. Everton will give them that sort of leeway. But we've seen him he hit one near post, didn't he, that nearly caught the keeper out first half when he's whipped it in, and Howard sort of tried to second guess the cross and nearly got done at the near post, and we saw Bellamy whip one in. So the delivery so far this afternoon has been excellent from corners for Cardiff.
They wait in anticipation. Pienaar will not be able to be on the field of play for this corner kick. He wearily is making his way over towards that far side. Malky Mackay's just had a word with Medell. Everton have every blue shirt back. 9, of course, now in the outfield, with Pienaar still getting treatment, in fact, over on that far side. So, what can Whittingham do? Whittingham with the corner over on that far side. Fired in and headed away at the near post by Barkley. It's a successive corner for Cardiff City. Still 0-0, just like a rugby union fullback. In he comes now with a run-up, but again he couldn't beat the first man, and Barkley once more will head it clear at the near post. Pienaar's back on the field of play, beaten and shrugged off the ball by Kim, and Kim, the South Korean, now waits and looks for his options. He plays the ball to Taylor. Taylor left of the centre circle, plays the ball up towards Kulka, who stayed forward from the back, and Distan will clear it high downfield for Everton. Medell will control that ball. His touch has been superb, and he's just quite happy once again to be that last line of defence. Osman out to Baines. Baines supplies the cross, comes out to Morales, controls it, goes on the outside. Whittingham stays tight to it.
Brilliant.
Good block challenge.
Brilliant. Well, he doesn't go for the feint to the shot, stands tall, knows that Morales wants to go down the outside, shepherds it out. Great defending.
And Cardiff are going to make a change, and Craig Bellamy is the player who's going to come off. So there'll be no opportunity for Bellamy to create that little bit of trivia by becoming the first player to score for 7 different clubs in the Premier League. And it'll be Don Cowie who comes on, with an interruption of a cry of Baines because he let one fly from 30 yards out, Steve Claridge.
Yeah, it was a great strike. I didn't think he'd take it because it was with his right foot, but nothing else on. Lashed out at it, and from our angle, we're in the centre looking across the pitch, thought that was going to cause the keeper all sorts of problems, but it drifts wide. Good strike, however.
Substitution now for Cardiff City. Malky Mackay has replaced Kim, who's worked hard just off Fraser Campbell. Nicky Maynard is going to replace him. Nicky Maynard, who scored in midweek at Accrington in that League Cup success. Only his 2nd goal for the club. He scored on the last day of last season against Hull City. Frustrating first season for Cardiff. 8 months out with a knee injury. But Nicky Maynard now up front along with Fraser Campbell. The attendance 27,344 as Everton in their blue shirts and white shorts playing from left to right. With a throw, pumped back in though by Turner, up towards Campbell, comes down to Whittingham. Whittingham then inside to the outstanding Medell. And then it's laid back. Good football by Cardiff. They've opened up Everton here. Connolly, the right back, advanced position, just couldn't take it on the inside of Pienaar.
That's great play from Cardiff, moving the ball, shifting it around, working the space, but also great play from Everton, sticking with their runners, making sure they see the danger out like Pienaar does there, and eventually winning the ball back, albeit from some great play from Cardiff. So, as I said, we haven't had the goals, but we've had some really, really good parts of this game, some real positive for the managers. People have done their jobs, they've worked hard, they've stopped the opposition at times from playing, and whatever you get out of this game, you're going to have to earn. No one's giving you a freebie in this one.
And here is Morales into the penalty area for Everton, but it was Turner and Conley who stopped him, and he just seemed to dwell on it too much.
You're not going to get that time in the box to cut inside and get it on your right foot and plant your shot in the far post. He's got an opportunity there. Barkley's played him in to just lash that across the goal with his left foot. He tries to come inside and get it on his right. He just will not get the time to do that. He should have got his shot off and then seen what happens. If it doesn't go in, hit the target, and people can be following that up. But in the end, gets snaffled out.
And that's the last bit of action for Morales, because Deulofeu has replaced him. And this is Deulofeu, who will shoot, and in the end it was a comfortable height. It moved a little bit in the air, but Marshall made the save. Steve Claridge.
Yeah, it was straight at him, wasn't it? I mean, it's good play. Lots of confidence, comes inside, gives himself a yard, and then whips the ball over the top of the back four. But perfectly placed Marshall just to pat that one down.
Gary Medel is going to come off, and much will replace him. But the Chilean international, £9.5 million acquisition from Seville, hardly surprising. He's getting a standing ovation.
Yeah,
Steve Claridge.
Yeah, done very well. Exactly what his manager's brought him for. Shore up the midfield, make sure that there's a little bit of protection for the back four, which he does. And he's also got a little bit of quality, and we've seen some lovely touches today from him as well. So all round excellent.
Deulofeu to take the corner kick for Everton. And it comes from the Spaniard. It's going to come out towards Pino outside the penalty area. He tees up Osman. Osman out towards Deulofeu on the right-hand side. Into the penalty area. He goes across the face of goal. Marshall may have got a finger touch to that, but it runs out. In fact, he didn't. Evaded everybody. Nobody attacked it. Out for a throw to Cardiff. Full-time whistle here at the Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff City 0, Everton 0.